This influencer got kicked off of Twitter for making fun of a homeless child. In today's episode, we're going to have an interesting conversation of whether or not celebrities, influencers, or people in general deserve to be kicked off a social media platform for, I don't know, being a... Welcome back to Shadowbanned. I'm your host, Bobby. This is the channel where we talk about everything social media censorship. Every day, an influencer, hip-hop artist, politician gets deplatformed or shadowbanned, and we cover it here. Now today, we have a little bit of a lighthearted situation. We're taking a break from politics. Last week, I took an entire week off because of all the Trump scandal thing. I just wanted to kind of step away from politics because it felt like the internet was getting a little bit heated. But now we're back into some influencer news, and we have an interesting video to say the least. Let's see what's going on. Popular influencer banned from social media after she taunted a homeless child with a dreek. Omortura, tell me if I'm pronouncing this wrong in the comments below. I have no idea who this influencer is, but she is a popular Nigerian influencer, better known as Morta, has been banned from Twitter after a video surfaced of her teasing a homeless child with a cold drink from inside her car. The cruel act was captured on film and shared by Morta herself, who quickly drew public criticism and condemnation for her behavior. Now, she's been barred from posting on the social media network at all, and her account has been suspended. You can see if you go over to her Instagram or her Twitter account, rather, she's completely suspended. So what is the video in question that made Twitter take such harsh action? Here it is. Oh. That's just wrong. There is no way around it. I can completely sympathize with this situation. Obviously, you wouldn't know this, but my mom was actually born in Mexico, and she, as a child, used to sell gum on the side of the road. You know, this really cheap gum in Mexico, and you know, she used to be one of those kids that would knock on windows and try to sell gum. So it's a terrible situation, but it leads to the bigger question: should somebody be kicked off the internet, lose their voice, lose their freedom of speech? And yes, Twitter's a private company, but should somebody lose their voice for being an asshole? There's no other way to put it. Well, first, let's see how she responded. So she responds herself and she says, "I deserve all of these insults. I do everything for this life to go wrong." All right, I can't exactly read this because I guess this is a Nigerian English accent. Even though this is BBC, it's written like that. So I'm not even going to try, but just know that she is apologetic. Now, there's two conversations I want to have surrounding this topic. The first is, do you deserve to be banned from social media for being a cock, for being a dickhead? And the second is, do you deserve to be banned from social media for being a cock and being a dickhead for the things that you post? Because they're two different things. Now, it's somewhere in this article states that she posted this video herself. It doesn't state that she posted this video to Twitter. If so, Twitter has very clear anti-bullying policies. And here is their abuse behavior. It says, you know, you can't wish, hope, or call for serious harm or people. And it basically has this entire page layout saying that you cannot be abusive, you cannot be a bully. However, this is very loose. You know, obviously Twitter punishes some people, and 99% of the people they let go. But there's a difference between posting abusive, bullying content to Twitter and posting it outside of Twitter, and then Twitter still deciding from an action that you did outside of its platform to ban you. And that was something that we really thought would be crazy in 2020, 2021 going forward, that a social media platform can ban you for something you do outside of the platform. But I'm going to toss up this article right here. Earlier last year, the Nelk boys, who are a YouTube prank channel. They were partying during COVID and they got a content strike from YouTube for something they did that wasn't on the platform. And if that is something that you think should exist, I want to show you something else from a really popular hip hop artist in America. He's also my favorite rapper, and I'm not trying to rat him out, or I'm not trying to say he did anything wrong. I just want to show you something similar that a celebrity has done in America that has gone unpunished by Twitter, and maybe we could talk about a little bit of hypocrisy from Twitter. So this is rapper Meek Mill, and he's done this a couple of times where, let's just watch the video and see for yourself if it's similar to the video that the Nigerian influencer posted. This is something he posted himself on Instagram.
Give me 10 push-ups and I'm gonna give you $20 right now. We ain't giving out no free money. Go ahead. You are not gonna give me $20. Yes, I am. I see you right now. One, two, three.
So you get the gist. This is a video where Meek Mill essentially makes this homeless man do push-ups for money. He's obviously older. You know, it seems like there's some sort of mental disorder there. Something just isn't right. And a lot of people saw that and said, man, this is messed up. This is the definition of bullying. And of course, Instagram at the time, this was Instagram, not Twitter. Instagram did not take this content down, and Instagram did not punish Meek Mill at all. However, Instagram has a similar policy. Now, going back to if you think that people should be allowed to or not allowed to be assholes on Twitter, man, I need to stop saying that word because I got to censor it out. Anyways, if you think that that's something that shouldn't exist on the platform, well, we need to kind of revisit this right here because this is Twitter's guidelines. It's just so vague. I mean, there isn't one specific thing. I think when it comes to these sorts of policies, something like doxing, sharing someone's phone number, that can't be misinterpreted any other way than you sharing their phone. Somebody could be facetious. They could be using humor. It could be a friend to a friend. It's just so vague. So it's like, how do you enforce this? So you let me know in the comments below, if you're Twitter, how do you enforce this without being selective? You know, for example, you can clearly see some people get away with it and some people don't. Now, on the other grounds of should you not allowed to be, I guess, a bully on social media outside of the platform, how do you choose when or when not to enforce this, and who do you enforce it? It seems like it's something that can only affect celebrities because they're the only ones in the spotlight. Or could we see a future where, I don't know, maybe your coworker is just a terrible person in real life, and maybe he has a past of being racist at work, and then you report him to Twitter and then Twitter gets him banned? That would be crazy to have that kind of future. Twitter recently announced something called Birdwatch, which I just made a video on, where we could really see a future like that, where people can self-report terrible people on Twitter, which you may be thinking, Bobby, that's crazy. But it's not that crazy. Think about Yelp. We now live in a world where people come out as Trump supporters, or restaurant owners come out as super liberal, and then people take to Yelp reviews to essentially ruin their credit, their social credit, or their Yelp credit. And they say, this restaurant sucks, or this person's a bigot, don't shop here. We could have that same thing happen to Twitter users, where you just have a regular person and a bunch of people, they have targeted harassment towards them, and a bunch of people comment on their tweets and comment on their profile and get them taken down via this new program called Birdwatch. And I don't have the time to explain Birdwatch, but check it out. So that's it for today's video. I just wanted to keep it really simple. Let's have some conversations in the comments below. Do you think that you should just be allowed to say whatever you want on Twitter, whether it be you just being a terrible person or you just being funny? What are the limits? What are the bounds? If you're Twitter, how do you make sure you get this right 100% of the time, or at least enough time to make it fair for everybody? See you guys in the next one. Make sure to like this video if you found the content interesting, and please subscribe before we're shadow banned. You never know, we could be next. See you guys in the next one. Peace.